So I want to say hello and welcome those of you who are joining us, whether you're joining live or later on replay into the space. Thank you so much for being here. It's always wonderful to connect with you in this way and to bring through the messages that it is that the beings of Absolute Light want to share. Saying hi to Timo, who I can see is here. Thank you so much for being here. Anyone else on now or joining later, feel free also to leave your name in the chat there or to leave a comment on the replay. Your comments and likes and shares are, as always, appreciated. And today we will be going into a state of meditation and then receiving various activations and messages, whatever it is that the beings of Absolute Light want to share with us at this time. So I invite you first just to close your eyes. And to really connect through the heart space. Breathing as if you can breathe directly into the heart. Feeling yourself drop still more fully into the heart center. And we are next going to drop a grounding cord into Gaia from our root chakra. Connecting it firmly to Gaia's center. And breathing up, they are saying first the Ascension codes that Gaia would like to share with us at this time. So just breathing energy up from the center of Gaia into your root chakra now. 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 And Saint Germain, Metatron, and the crystals of Ascended Gaia, working to clear through our energetic fields. releasing that which does not serve us at this time. And the dragons and Berlin also bringing in their energies to help us release and to clear anything that is not aligned with that higher ascension timeline that we are here to be in the world at this time. And Gaia also now bringing in her healing energy. And this is supporting us to open our hearts more and to truly relax more on a deep physical level, a cellular level. So that the activations that we receive going forward this week, they're saying, so this week is an important time on our ascension timeline as a ascending collective, the collective of light workers and way showers, star seeds, and so forth, they say. And so they're going to be bringing in various energies of a few messages interspersed today to really support us in aligning that with that next highest level of the collective ascension timeline. And in order to do that, they just want to bring us into this deep state of relaxation first. So that the activations that we receive from them can be integrated deeply into the cellular framework of the physical vessel. And then as we start to align on a cellular level with those higher vibrational energies, that will allow more of the incoming energy from source to also be very rapidly integrated into our bodies and energetic fields, they're saying. And so they're asking us to take some slow breaths just to help us come into an even more relaxed state. I will guide the breathing, but feel free to do it in a time that is comfortable for you, either slightly longer, slightly shorter, it doesn't matter in the least. So breathing in. A quick hold and breathe out. Breathe in. A quick hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. A quick hold. Breathe out. And then returning the breath to something more comfortable. And they are bringing in the Lemurian energies first. They are bringing through some messages for us now from the Lemurian with the first message or question being to remind us to be really focused on what we can do to support the collective in their ascension at this time. And they're saying for many of us, it will be as simple as just being more willing to talk openly about our experiences, to not keep the spiritual side out of conversations and kind of hidden away. If we do that, we'll place an opening there, and then and when people do evolve into their own awakening and ascension timeline, they'll remember you as being someone that they could possibly talk to, come to for intuitive guidance or for support. So in a lot of cases, they're saying within the Ascending Collective, it's just about speaking out more about your truth, about who you truly believe yourself to be, how this informs the way that you are, the way that you be in the world. Not just having these conversations in online or in-person groups where you know that people have the same kind of thinking as you, but daring to venture forward some of this information, of course, tailoring it to meet the group or the individual that you're speaking with, but being more willing, more courageous to risk putting some of those truths of who you are to let them come through in the conversations that you're having. And for those already in kind of more visible, more active service in the way shower or light worker role as a coach or a intuitive healer, intuitive coach, a healer, and a channel, and so forth. They are saying that this time is really about receiving upgrades to who we are and the light codes that we hold. So that we can truly hold and support people to a higher level. And you are invited just to stay in this energy and continue to integrate it. And they are prompting me to speak just a little about the release of the barriers to self-love session that we will be holding on July the 30th at 7 a.m. ET, or the equivalent in your time zone. I know I did briefly mention it on last week's broadcast of the Metatron message. I'm going to see what beings want to say about it first today, or about self-love. And so they are saying that they see self-love as one of the things that has been kept from us. There's been many false constructs and barriers put in place so that unless you do a great deal of healing work on yourself, it's become pretty much impossible to just be able to love yourself naturally, because of all the falsehoods that are in society at large with relation to who we are, how our value is decided and determined, who we need to be, this sense of competition, and that we constantly need to be trying to impress in order to be successful in whatever our goal is. All of these things have taken us so far away from ourselves that they have created a huge barrier to us really being able to know ourselves in our connection to source, in our connection to a sense of worth and value, and in our connection to a sense of love and joy at who we are and who we get to experience ourselves in the world. As well as the barriers to feeling that kind of unconditional love and acceptance for others, as well as also for ourselves. And this has been one of the constructs that really prevents us from knowing ourselves in our higher truth, they are saying. There's so much greater potential at this time for these constructs to be dissolved. And by bringing through this session at this time, they want to support that, just the dissolution of that which stands in the way of each of us really being able to truly come into a deeper and higher embodiment of love for self. And so that is the place that the beings of Absolute Light are coming from when they have asked for this session to be brought forth. The session itself is probably going to last anything from 60 to 90 minutes. And they are asking for an exchange of $77 for that portion. And then there is actually an optional add-on if people would like to go deeper with this topic, a 4-month journey into deeper self-love, which we will take together, looking at various aspects of self-love and doing our own personal journey through journaling and so forth, journaling prompts and a mini teaching with channeled information also will be provided each month, or each topic. Each topic is only 2 weeks, actually, not a month. And then there will also be a sharing call at the end of each topic, so we can come back and share the insights that we have received. And that will be a full month journey, with 2 weeks dedicated to exploring various aspects of self-love, so that we will be exploring 8 different aspects of what it really means to love ourselves and to come into a deeper embodiment of that love for self within the human. And for that Journey Plus session, they are asking for an exchange of $333. And the calls for that session are scheduled to take place on a Sunday evening here in Japan, which will be early Sunday morning, 7 a.m. in ET or noon in the UK. But actually, depending on the schedules of people who would like to step into that extra journey, I am willing to be flexible and to reschedule that to meet as many people's fit in with as many people's schedules as possible, as long as it is also physically possible for me. So I will put the link there in the description under the video and invite you to visit that page if this speaks to your heart. And then let's see what else it is that they want to bring through for us in terms of activations to support us at this time today. And so it is the higher dimensional beings, the Pegasi and the unicorns, who are stepping forward. Sharing their kind of very sparkly sense to their codes. And helping us also access a higher dimensional vibration within self. They would like to speak to us a little, they say, about what it means to really create a joyful essence that is to be birthed into the planet, but a joy that is seated in the new earth and in creations of joy seeded from the new earth values. We are the Pegasi and unicorns of the 29th dimension and above, very delighted to be in contact with you this day. That which you have thought possible, the parameters with which you have been able to act upon the earth is now expanding, and you are moved into, and yet so many of you do not sense it yet. So we shall perhaps say moving into, because until you fully feel it as true for yourself, it is very difficult for you to experience it in the physical. But Gaia herself has fully moved into the embodiment of this new earth where possibility is limitless. New possibilities are born all the time. The possibility for timelines to merge and for you to easily jump into a higher timeline abound. It is a time when miracles are really yours for the claiming, and yet you do need to have that belief within self that this is possible on Gaia at this time, in order to be able to really step forward and claim this inheritance, dear earth beings, that yours is. This has been coming to you for decades now, we wish to say, as you have continued, those of you in the Wayshower and the Lightworker community, to pour your codes of light, your love that flows from your heart in a very pure reservoir of high frequency crystalline light. That kind of love that you hold for the planet, that is the pool, the space in which these kind of miracles become possible, because there are some guiding principles, the main one of which being that that which you are asking to receive, desiring to receive, does not only serve you, but only also truly serves the whole. That is what we want you to bring your focus to in a greater way at this time, are the creations that you are creating. For in every moment in your physical embodiment as a human, you are in fact creating. Are you creating that which is joy infused, pleasurable, uplifting, light filling for those around you and for yourself? These are the creations that will be supported. Those that are not in alignment with this will find themselves kind of cut away, as if at the roots. Things that until now have held a great deal of prestige or have been very fixed structures in your world will no longer be able to do so if they are not regenerating themselves to come from this field, this space of love. So you will see a lot of that which you have known to be fixed, to be what you have defined as a certainty, and yet it never was a certainty. It was just something that the human society as a collective you were constructing together through your beliefs in what is possible and what society should be and is, and seeing that reflected back at you in the world. And yet all of that is now vastly torn in the gentlest way possible, but torn open. There is space for so much light to filter through into the structures that you are creating as humans. So, how do you want to support those around you in your family, your group of friends, the wider community, and then the wider community of the world? Well, that is the other thing which we ask you to really start to consider at this time, that the whole world is on your doorstep. The whole world is open to your love and to your care, and to you being able to, through your intention, hold the intention for a happier, more joy-filled, more stable, safer world for all, in which all get to truly discover who they are in their own truth. And so when we do speak of joy, we are not only speaking of those joyful creations when in which you get carried away in your own expression of joy. Also, there should be a question there of how does this serve? How can this be expanded into a project that will serve more and will serve more at a still deeper level? It is a time of service, but in the sense of a very pleasurable for self and joyful giving, as you are able to expand into a greater embodiment of the sharing of the unique gifts that you came here to share, and will be matched with the people who are here to receive just those very gifts that it is that you have within you, the codes of which to share. And going forward, we would ask you also to step into more collaborations with others who are also creating from this place of concern and care and love and compassion for the whole of the community, the whole of humanity. Allow yourself to be joy infused in the doing of this, so that you know the joy of bringing forth what it is that you have uniquely been given as a soul to birth in the world at this time. It is us, the unicorns and the Pegasi, and we are honored to be able to communicate with you this day. And so they are just bringing in some more codes for us to integrate. Saying that these will support us in aligning with this higher frequency of love-infused joy, joy-infused love in our co-creations with Source and co-creations with each other and with Source. So just allowing a moment for that energy to deeply integrate into the physical vessel. I see that Omar and Kirsten are here, so welcome to you both. It's lovely to have you in this space and also to hear from you. I'm just going to give a couple of minutes for those energies to continue to integrate, and then they're saying they'd like to share a message from a master to close. And it is Mary who is stepping forward. And she is just asking us to be aware of two things. The first, when there are unresolved areas, areas that still need healing within ourselves, so they allow for the shadow self to come to the forefront rather than that divine aligned higher self. It's she says entirely natural that these places are still present within us. She does want us to bring our focus to when they come up, to bring to first bring as much healing there as we are able in the moment, to come back later and to be more present with these shadow places, whether in journaling or in a healing meditation, to really support ourselves being on an accelerated healing path. And to also put the focus on, and she doesn't mean like a spiritual sidestepping or bypassing. She is asking us to explore these things in depth and bring what healing or release is needed, but not to like carry them with us as a heavy weight. So as soon as we are able to switch consciously back to a more aligned focus, whether that is gratitude for something that has happened to us recently, or for a pet, a child, a grandchild, a blue cloudless sky. To repeat an affirmation to ourselves in our mind, or whatever it takes to help us And perhaps until we are able to do that deeper healing work, even so that we can uplift ourselves into a higher frequency again more quickly, rather than feeling like we need to carry that more negative energy around with us all day, and it like lingers there in our energy field and is a weight there. So although some deeper self-examination is in many cases, she is saying necessary, if we can't do that in the moment, if we are able to make that switch, that will support us in coming into a higher embodiment of more aligned emotions of love and gratitude, peace, if we are able, even joy again, then that will really support us in integrating the codes that are coming in from source at the moment, and then support us in really being what we are each here to be, as our main focus, most coherently in the world at this time, which is that aligned energy state, aligned with the higher consciousness of love and peace and forgiveness and gratitude. And also the higher frequency energies. And because we have been on this path for a time, and most of the people who listen to this channel, she is saying, so it means that our bodies are opened as like a rod or a column for these energies to then pass through us and deep into Gaia's energetic fabric and structure. And so the more that we are able to remain in these uplifted emotions, if possible, adding to that elevated states of consciousness, the quicker we are also able to integrate the energies for ourselves. But more than that, she's saying we're not just doing it for ourselves. Our ascension path is for ourselves, but it's also very much for the collective, for the people around us. But she's expanding this notion of the people around us to mean like everyone in humanity, because energetically we are all connected, and energetically there is no more distance between, for example, me and Omar, who he said is on the other side of the world, and me and my cat, who I'm not quite sure where he is right now, but he was just here in the kitchen with me a moment ago. So energetically we really are each other's neighbors. And as we uplift and elevate our own emotions, we really start to facilitate that transformation for the collective consciousness, so that the whole of humanity is able to conceive of themselves in a more aligned way than has been possible to until now, to access more uplifted or elevated emotions, perhaps without knowing why, to access more divine thinking aligned ways of consciousness, because the collective field of the conscious of humanity is now so heading in that direction, that these energetic imprints and these waves of consciousness and the ability to access them are becoming available for the whole, they say. And we help to really ground, to anchor that energy in by holding our point of focus as being a vessel of peace, of joy, of forgiveness, of love, of an expanded and uplifted consciousness, holding both those positive emotions and also a very expansive notion of what it means to be human at this time. And then our embracing of our multidimensionality starts to have a ripple effect, so that others are able to come into touch with parts of their multidimensionality, whether they yet define them as that or yet. So that is her call to us at this time, calling us into still more action. She says we are already doing a really amazing job of holding the light on the planet, and is encouraging just to bring a little more consciousness, to step it up just another notch, so that we can help to truly facilitate that transformation of consciousness for the greater whole of humanity at this time. So with a beautiful and very inspirational message from Mary to finish on, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here on this call, for being here just on the planet at this time, and being that real pillar of love and light that allows more of source consciousness to pour through. With much gratitude and love from my heart to yours. Thank you so much, and I'll connect with you again soon.